Positive people create positive experiences. Think about it this way. You want to go to a restaurant today. What do? Immediately start looking at the phone, start looking at the messages, start looking at the reviews of that particular restaurant. Restaurant has been in business for like about 5 years, 10 years, whatever it is. And there's like tons and tons of people who have actually visited the restaurant. But when you see the reviews, all those people who had great experiences, super not everybody writes that it's an amazing restaurant where they've eaten. But you will see there are about 10 negative responses. Or 10 பேர் they would say that the food is not good. But there are about 10,000 people who have eaten in that restaurant. How do we judge that? On the negative, we take a look at that negative response and we decide immediately, oh, you know what? This is a negative, the food is not great. But is that right? Think about it. Because positive people create positive experiences. Why did I say that is, when you have a positive experience, go and talk about it. Tell that you had a positive experience, because negative experiences is what is actually ruling the world right now, as a result of which people have a different view about a restaurant, about any business for that matter. Even for that matter, when you are going to take up a new job. So for example, you're applying for a new job. What do? You start looking at the reviews of employers. You start looking at Google reviews, Glassdoor reviews, and things like that. The employer may have had 10,000 people who are working out there. All those 10,000 people who are having positive experiences, they don't go and write a positive review out there. But there are some people who have had a bad experience. It might have been a bad day. There might have been a process glitch, whatever. They have written a negative experience. But you decide that, oh, you know what, this is not a great place to go. So first thing, I want you to be very objective in your thought. Objective in your thought meaning, in your restaurant putting in a negative review, go and experience it and see. Similarly, when you see there is a negative review about a particular employer, call other people, find out, check, what do they think about it? Because there is a lot of positive things which are happening about that particular restaurant, about that particular business, which we do not know. We are just taking a very, very subjective stand just because of that particular review. So what I would love for you to do is, our community is all positive people. We create a positive experience. I work hard really to create a positive engagement in every conversation. So I want you to have that mindset that we are going to create positivity in every conversation. So every time when you go to a restaurant, you experience something, if they have a page where you can put a review, go ahead and write your positive experience. At the same time, when you have a negative experience, call them up and tell them that, you know what, hey, I think the food wasn't great. I think you should be in a position to change this. I think the waitress or the waiter wasn't good to me. It's good to have positive conversations where you can publish, a lot of people can read, and negative conversations which can be controlled and given as good feedback. The same thing happens as a manager to an employee. When you are in a workforce, the way you give feedback is you appreciate people in public and reprimand people in private. If you're கண்டிப்பான ஒரு conversation பண்றீங்கன்னா, even with your children, when parenting, you don't yell at your children in public. You call them, you have a sit-down conversation. It is not yelling. You should have a sit-down conversation and you advise them that this is the way it could be possibly done. We're going to have more topics to be discussed on this particular conversation what we had today. But what is your view? I want you to go ahead and let us know your thoughts in our feedback session, in our comment section. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube link, go ahead and subscribe. What are your thoughts? I'd love to hear. Share your comments. All right. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks.